Hello, everyone. So, here we are for yet another story. Last time we left off at the moment when I graduated from my law school back home, Moscow State University. 5 years later, I am a lawyer. So I thought it was so great to be a graduate. Little did I know that it was just the beginning of a very long road ahead of me. While I was still a student, I was so naive and so lighthearted that I managed to get myself into trouble of competing for one of the outstanding awards for student leadership back at the university days. The funny part of that was that I was the only one, the first one, and apparently there was no one else after I got that award who actually competed and won on behalf of the law faculty of Moscow State University. It was really interesting to see how little law students were interested in any financial incentives or support at the time. So I got that award when I was a third-year student. And in case you don't know, back home, back in the day, which was almost 15 years ago now, we had only one type of a law degree, which was specialist degree. You could enter it right after your high school, do 5 years of schooling at the university level, and then graduate and be qualified as a lawyer. All throughout Russia, yes, the largest country in the world, will give you just one diploma and you're, boom, a lawyer. So the funny part was, while I was still a student and I won that award, all of a sudden I started receiving invitations for interviews. And not just interviews, but to enter a workforce. And not just any workforce, but legal workforce. And not just any legal workforce, but international law firms' offices who were located in Moscow at the time. Little did I know that was the beginning of another story of my life. So I went through a few interviews and I thought they went really well, but no, they did not. Apparently I kept telling them that, you know what, this is what I want to do, and if you don't have that, I think I don't want to work for you. So I ended up putting myself in a very difficult position so that in the middle of my third year summer term, I finally got another interview, which was my final interview at that stage of my life and career, with one of the leading New York-based law firms, their office in Moscow. And no, I didn't wear black. I didn't prepare for it. I didn't do any research. All I did is put my lightest and brightest pink dress, because it was summer, which was full of little white flowers. I took my pink purse, also with flowers, which I happily brought from a Paris trip a couple of months before, and I put my wonderfully pink, flowery shoes. Thanks God they were flats. And so I appeared like that to one of my interviews. It was a weekend, the sun was shining, middle of the summer term, everyone is enjoying, and I'm just having the old pink day. Next thing I know, I'm sitting in front of a panel and we are firing at each other questions and answers on a very complex legal certification of medical equipment issues. I answered literally 10 questions without a single break. On the 10th question, I honestly said I didn't know the answer to it. The next thing I heard, the lawyer who was interviewing me on behalf of the panel looked at me and said, "Oh, you're a very, very lucky girl." And I looked at him and said, "Well, there must be something that brings me luck in this world." And then I smiled. Next thing on the panel interview was interviewing with the HR people, who managed to switch straight from Russian to English right away and speak perfect North American, as I found out later, Canadian English, to me right at that table. So I had to switch right away, and that's what I did. I switched from Russian legal topics to English discussion about my future plans, where I want to take my career, what kind of things I'm looking for at this time. So I was pretty modest and humble, and I asked for a summer job. I didn't want to really commit at the time to a full-time law firm job. So I was pretty happy when a couple of weeks later, I got a call and got an offer to do a summer term with that law firm. That was the beginning of a new life. And I'm not going to leave it until the next video, but I'll tell you this. You have to understand that everything you do in life leads to something in the future. Nothing comes unnoticed. Nothing goes without consequences. The decisions that you make early on in your life do impact the rest of your life and career. So my dear friends, think twice, 3 times, 10 times, 100 times before you stand up and move your life and career to another level. And on this extremely positive and philosophic note, let me finish this particular take on yet another story of my life. I'll see you next time. Stay tuned. Bye.